Hello everyone, Ben the Pen Man here, and today I've got a lot to talk about, so let's just get into it. But before I do that, I've heard it's better to remind people to like the video and subscribe before I start the video. I kinda already knew that, but I figured I'd try it out. That's what the YouTube professionals do, I guess. But liking and subscribing and commenting are all great things to do if you like what I'm doing and think more people should see it. So if you can, it would really help me out a lot. Thanks. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video today is because the holidays are coming up. Halloween stuff is already all over in stores, and we know that after Halloween, it's a never-ending spiral into more holiday stuff until the end of the year. So I imagine when I say a busy time of year is coming up, that's what you think I'm talking about. Well, it turns out you're wrong. Those things really do take up time, but I have some other things on my plate too. As you guys already know, I am an artist and a writer. Two very awesome things I love to encourage everyone to do because they're cool, but that does provide a bit of a weird situation for me because two of my favorite yearly challenges to complete are Inktober and NaNoWriMo. And as it turns out, they just so happen to fall in October and right after in November. Those familiar with those two events are probably starting to see the problem. Needless to say, you should expect my videos in October and November to pretty much only focus on those two things. I guess I should explain what they are. I'll start by explaining Inktober, and this one's a bit more complicated. It's an event or challenge that was started in 2009 by a guy called Jake Parker, where you get 31 prompts and make an ink drawing every day. It's actually pretty cool, but it basically means clearing out every day for a month with enough time to make an ink drawing. I also like to make really nice ones, so it's a bit crazy trying to keep up with everything. The thing is, I don't think I'll actually be participating in Inktober in the normal way this year. Apparently Jake Parker trademarked the name Inktober, which means that those who make Inktober drawings can't sell their art if they do it as Inktober art. And a lot of the art community basically decided it wasn't worth it to use the name Inktober anymore. Also, I heard something about him plagiarizing a book which isn't cool, so I've decided that while I like the concept, the Inktober name isn't something I care enough to keep. To make it very clear, don't have anything against people who do Inktober. I think it's really great, and I was actually looking at the prompts for this year, and I think they're really cool prompts. But what I decided to do is that I wanted to do my own sort of challenge, and I decided that I'm going to do something very similar, but it's going to have a different name, and I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to call it Pentober. Since, it keeps up with the branding of my channel. Ben the Pen Man, Gotta keep that brand up. I have like 22 subscribers I've got to stay true to. The rules of Pentober are simple. First, pick a character. You can do this before October starts, or just pick a character before you start every day. It can be one of your own characters or another character you like. You can even repeat characters or choose a different one every day. Then, come to this random word generator I have on screen, link in the description, and generate a random word to use as a prompt. Then draw something with ink or any other medium you like to put the character in a situation that relates to the prompt. The cool thing is, if you want to do it but you don't want to use the Inktober name either, you can join along if you want. Don't worry, I won't trademark it. I chose this whole concept of picking a character because the thing I want to do with my inking skills is to make comics, and drawing characters is something you have to do a lot in comics, so it helps me practice drawing them. But also because sometimes you'll have an idea for a fun situation, but have to figure out how to draw that character in that situation. This helps you practice very specific things without forcing you to draw something you're not interested in learning to draw. Though, let's be honest, the more you try and draw new things, the better you'll get at drawing in general. So feel free to pick characters you're not very familiar with. It could help you out a lot. My plan for video uploads during Pentober is to make a weekly video showcasing the art I made that week. I'll also try and upload everything to my website, thescratchofapen.weebly.com, like I did last year. All of my pieces from last year can also be found there, so enjoy looking at those as well. I'll probably rework the website a bit though, since it's actually really long and hard to navigate. I should probably get on that before October, so I don't have to worry too much about it and getting the drawings done on time, but knowing me, I'll probably forget and have to do it during Pentober, so we'll see what happens. So look forward to that. But the thing about it is, I will have to go all the way to October 31st. So there's no way for me to make a preface video for NaNoWriMo before that starts up. So I think it would be for the best to do that in this video too. NaNoWriMo is short for National Novel Writing Month, and it is in its essence a challenge to write a 50,000 word novel in a month, specifically the month of November. Now, this may sound ridiculous, so hear me out, but I actually think this is the single best challenge you can take if you want to learn to write books. Now, I know how that sounds. The best challenge to someone who hasn't been able to finish a book before is to try and do it in a month? You can't expect someone to be able to write a book in a month if they couldn't do it without a time limit before, right? Well, I actually do. The thing about time limits is they force us to make decisions. I am a disgustingly indecisive person. I hate making decisions, and I suspect a lot of people who have had trouble writing before also hate making decisions. That is, in my opinion, the thing that most holds back writers who struggle to finish first drafts. They're too indecisive about how they want certain interactions to go. They get hung up trying to figure out if a certain word works in a certain situation, and so on until they just give up on what they're doing. Indecision happens in other art forms too, but since novels tend to be so much work, I feel like it's a more deadly problem in book writing. Those little things can make a single chapter take months to write, making the writer disillusioned with the whole writing process. They get stuck in chapter 5, and they just can't make it out. That's why NaNoWriMo, or NaNoWriMo, is such a good idea. One of the slogans I've seen used frequently by nano enthusiasts is, "No plot? No problem." The goal isn't to write a masterpiece in a month, or even a cohesive story. The goal is to write 50,000 words. Sure, it's good if you have some characters and a semblance of a sequence of events, but no one actually cares if nothing makes sense. You don't have to send it to anyone. You don't even have to keep working on it after November if you don't want to. All you have to do is finish, and you're good to go. Pardon the art metaphor. I love to compare everything to art at the moment, but NaNoWriMo teaches you to treat your first draft like a sketch. It's not supposed to be perfect, but it's supposed to lay the groundwork for the final product. And that's why I recommend every new writer try it. Just try and get 50,000 words talking about your characters. Put in some dialogue. Try and get used to that grammatical structure. It doesn't matter if you already said the word "said" 50 times. No one has to read it, and you can come up with better words when you revise it later. You just get to keep moving forward so that you can finish the draft. Anyway, spiel about NaNoWriMo being amazing over. I'm gonna do it this year. As a result though, I don't think I'll be able to make any other videos in November. I do, however, want to make some videos about my NaNoWriMo process and updates on it in video form. That said, I'm not quite sure how to do that. Do you guys want me to make tutorials as I go, showing off how I write certain scenes, or would you rather have plot summaries and read my samples as I go? I've never made a video about novel writing before, or even watched one for that matter, so let me know in the comments what you think I should do. And that's all I have for today. This is probably going to be the last narrated video through October, and what I do in November is still a mystery, but come December, I'll look into returning to other videos. Maybe I'll make another watercolor piece once this is all over. Either way, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to let me know in the comments what you want to see for NaNoWriMo in terms of videos, and I think we're going to have some fun in the next few months. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.